Hello. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. Here's my dog. He's kind of relevant to what we're doing. We're going to be reading the Corgi Chronicles this week. I got this book for Christmas like a year ago. a year ago, and I have yet to read it. And there's some books that I'm wanting for my birthday, and I thought, I should probably read this before I get some more books. So that's what we're doing this week. We're going to read this book. I have not seen any reviews on YouTube about it, so I guess we'll be a niche. This is kind of like my Gravity Falls Lost Legends book, where I just do a reaction and I give my final thoughts towards the end. It'll be one of those videos. A deep Welsh bark. Okay, so they're Okay, we're still on the first page. Corgis are kin to the Fae, elves, fairies, and spirits. But they're like horses to them. But horses and humans aren't kin. Maybe it's better to not think about it. Okay, so our main character's fairy is Elite Iana, and she's an earthbender. Why don't they have like... Okay, so the fairy is invisible during this we're traveling to the place part. And the fairy can make herself all invisible, but the corgi isn't. Why? Okay, so they were summoned because this magic gem got stolen, and now they gotta go find it, or everybody's gonna die. They're like, I'm worried that my family will think that I'm missing and stuff, because I'm a corgi. And all that, and they're just like, everything will be fine. Your human family will be fine, and they'll be happy to see you when you return. Okay, so I'm on chapter 2, and I'm encountering the problem that I have with a lot of books. That it's a me thing. It's a me thing. It's not because of the book necessarily. I'm very unmotivated to keep reading it. I don't know what it is. I don't feel like it right now. But I'm gonna push through. It's a small book. I should suck it up, okay? And I'm only on page 11, alright? No book is probably a masterpiece in only 11 pages, okay? What do you think, Brody? Brody, you gonna look at me? 11. Okay, so there's like an actual cougar, part of this little Fellowship of the Ring thing, and there's like a part where poachers are in it, and it's just wild. You remember in Lord of the Rings where they went to that one place and it was like runes and stuff? That's where we're at now. We're at the Elvish and Dwarvish runes now. I don't know if there's a kraken guarding it, but we'll find out. Okay, so we've arrived at the Dwarvish Kingdom, and it's the place where the gem was taken. The gem that's like the source of all good magic, and also holds the magic for all the magical creatures and stuff, and their livelihoods depend on it. Okay, so one of the fairies, the earthbender one, she tried to do like touching the rock and trying to sense what happened kind of thing, but she can't get a clear picture. She has like, she's picking up essence of like wizardry. There's like a dwarf and an elf and a troll involved, and yeah, so it may have been a group thing, and there's like an evil wizard who tricked the others into doing his dirty work or whatever. Okay, and now there's a human involved in this. allegedly. So, okay. Okay, so y'all looked at him expectantly. He shook his head and sat down. No elves have gone missing recently, but the queen reminded me of something that happened nearly 10 years ago. This guy disappeared. This guy disappeared mysteriously, and he was a wizard, and they don't know why he went missing. He reappeared, he had amnesia, and then he just kind of lost his magic and died, and they don't know how or why that happened. So, yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a break at chapter 5. My phone's dying, and I think it's a good place to stop for now. It's a new day. It's a new day. We are on chapter 5. This book has like 16 chapters, so we're roughly a third of the way through. We can get through this book, even if I don't really feel like it. It's not a terrible book, it's just I'm bored, and that's more of an issue I have with reading, because I don't know, I get like bored easily when I read. I'm more of a visual person, so if it's not a graphic novel, I have a hard time having my focus captured, if that makes sense. And yeah, so we're gonna try and push through. Okay, so they were like traveling across some ice, and it broke through, and a lot of people got hurt and stuff, and especially one of the fairies. Her name's Bridget, and they like take her to one of the healers, and she has like broken ribs and a brain injury, and like one of her wings is messed up, and the healers are like, well, we can fix her ribs and her brain, but we can't fix her wing. Excuse me? What do you mean you can't? You can fix her brain, but you can't get her another wing? Alright, so we're on chapter 9 now, and what happened right before this chapter is that they think the elf who like randomly went missing, then like lost all his magic and died, might have a part in this. Like the gem being stolen and all that. And and sentient trees are in this plot now. So we're in Two Towers. We got a little bit of Two Towers in here. Okay, so Nelithan gets hurt. He gets hit with some like dark magic and stuff, and one of them's just like, we need to find a healer. And they're all just like, no, we need to remember our mission. We will run out of time before we can find the gem and stuff, and they're all just like, we'll just leave him here. Why can't you bring him with? Or at least have somebody stay behind. And like Barlow, he was just like, I'll stay behind. And they're like, no, we need you. I guess the ferret is gonna be watching after him. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so the ferret that showed up in in a different chapter is gonna be watching over him. So they're not completely abandoning him, and I just lost my place in the book. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, so they found one of the evil guy's henchmen, and he's just like, the evil guy's gonna destroy it no matter how much he tried. No matter what he did, he couldn't absorb the power of the gem, so now he's gonna destroy it instead. So that's where we're at now. Okay, so the guy got injured, he got healed by the ferret's like owner, and now they're all better, and they're all the fellowship, or not fellowship, is gonna take like a tree portal to Chicago where the bad guy is. He's gonna go to like this lab to destroy the gem. And yeah, so far it's an alright book. It's not super captivating, but it's getting easier to kind of breeze through this book. I'm on chapter 11 right now. So there's about 5 more chapters left. So, well, we'll get this done. Okay, so I think they get to the lab and they're like, why don't we see any people around? And why aren't they on like high alert or anything? And it said, we discovered why we haven't seen 90 people. An ugly greenish-brown fog crept along the floor of the lobby, eddying and swirling like a stream. Through the fog, human bodies were visible, sprawled out on the ground. Some people were slumped in chairs or against countertops, while were unconscious or maybe dead. Okay, so the big baddie is actually a human who has magical powers for some reason. He's like, yeah, I destroyed Baron, the elf that like went missing and all that. Okay, so a bunch of people didn't want to teach him magic. Therefore, he's gonna destroy all good magic, because the gem holds all good magic. He got magical powers from dark magic beings. He said by being smart, there are much more powerful beings on this planet than you pointy-eared tree huggers, he said to one of the elves. And I guess how they're gonna solve this is they're gonna outsmart him or some way and then get the gem and bring it back. And I don't know how they're gonna do that yet. We'll find out. Okay, yeah, that's essentially what happened. So they outsmarted him. Well, kind of. They like took the necklace that has like his power and stuff, and they like captured him and all that. Then when they went to go check on the gem, because they were like, oh no, he destroyed it. It was undamaged. So now we're in the falling action part of the book. A bunch of police were called and they're all handling that. And they're like, hey, scientist person, can you like not rat us out about our existence and all that? And they're just like anybody would believe me. So I don't know what's gonna happen now. I think chapter 15 maybe is gonna be like a what happens to the big baddie, and chapter 16 is just gonna be Pippin coming home. So yeah, it was alright. The climax was fairly short. This whole book is fairly short and it's very fast paced. It's like a little too fast paced at times, because sometimes it's just like an issue happens but it's quickly resolved and stuff like that, and that kind of happens throughout the book. Anyways, chapter 15. Alright, so the big baddie, he is now a normal human. They took away his powers and all that, and now he's just a normal human. And I think he goes to jail, or like they like sentence him to jail or whatever. I'm not sure. Then Pippin can like talk to the trees and stuff and people in like the Fellowship. No, not the Fellowship. And Pippin, our main character, this guy, he can like talk to the trees and stuff, and the queen who like sentenced the big baddie to be human was just like, hey, that's kind of cool, and that's about it. It kind of seems like there's room for a sequel, but I haven't found a sequel yet. But Pippin comes home and his family's just like, oh my gosh, where have you been? And they like check to see if he's okay and stuff. And that's it. That's how the book ends. He returns home. And his family's happy to see him. It does kind of make me wonder if like they were very concerned about him. And they like had missing posters and stuff and all that. I was kind of anticipating that being like a plot point, but it wasn't. And yeah, so this book's all right. If you want like a nice light read, then this is the book for you. It is intended for a younger audience. It says like ages 6 to 12, but we're a general audience channel, YouTube. So yeah, it's pretty decent if you just want something to read in a day. Then check this out. I thought it was alright. I had a hard time getting into it. It was a little too fast-paced for me, and I had a hard time getting into it, probably because things were going by so fast. There's a lot of instances where I had to I went into autopilot, and then I was like, wait, what happened? And I had to go back a couple pages, and it's just like, oh, okay, that thing is solved now. There's a lot of, oh, there's a problem, and it's like solved like 3 pages later. And yeah, but overall, it's alright. If you like corgis and you like the Lord of the Rings, but you want but you don't want like the edginess of Lord of the Rings, you just want something simple, but you don't want to read The Hobbit, you can check this out. It has like some, just like a touch of Lord of the Rings in it. It's not like a carbon copy of Lord of the Rings. It seems like it kind of wants to have its cake and eat it too, because they want to have the, oh, we gotta keep our magic a secret and stuff like that. But it also isn't really a big part of the plot. It's just kind of there to be like, oh, look what we can do with our magic and stuff. I feel like it would have been fine if they didn't have the, oh, we're also a secret, gotta keep it, gotta be a secret from the Muggles and stuff, because it's not a very big part of the plot, and there aren't instances where they get caught or something. There are instances where they try and disguise themselves and stuff for to get supplies and things. I feel like they probably could have done that without having to do disguises and things, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm going on a tangent. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what kind of video you want to see me do next. This is Kitty Ross, signing off.